Okay, so you've already made it obvious that you're looking to start dating and um, you don't want to waste your time, right? So that is understandable. When you're letting this person know that you're looking for something serious and you've gotten all the basic conversations out of the way, letting them know that, hey, I'm ready to take it to the next level. If you are, if we're on the same page, let's go ahead and move forward, you know. So picking the dating spaces, places, locations, those types of things, making sure that you stay in public. Okay, making sure that you stay in public, making sure that whatever you're doing is something where you can actually involve yourself in an activity that will have you and have that person outside of your comfort zone. So you can see what makes that person laugh, what makes that person exciting, what makes them a great listener. Those are some characteristics that is important to show in the beginning. How can you be my person? How are we compatible besides if you're meeting them online, if your friend introduced them, if it's a blind date, however, you want someone that is going to be themselves and you want to be in a place where they're outside of their comfort zone. And that's why it's good to date a person in public, all dates in public, and less crowds. Something that's subtle and and you know, because you don't want too much noise. You want to be able to hear the person when they speak. You want to be able to laugh. You want to be able to talk. You want to be able to just look that person directly in the eyes and have that conversation, have those conversations. Having a date that is too crowded, too noisy, it's really not a great idea. Because number one, you don't want to get interrupted. You want to be able to connect with that person one on one. And if it's too loud, too noisy, then people are interrupting and it's like, huh, what you say, da da da. And then it just makes it uncomfortable. Versus if you have any questions and you want to talk to that person about something, you absolutely can because it's not as crowded. It's not as much traffic in and out, you know? Some great places that you can go on a date would be, somewhere that's open. Somewhere, I would say, again, I think I mentioned this in our other podcast. It was like a restaurant. It doesn't have to be an extravagant restaurant. It can be like Starbucks. It can be Chick-fil-A, like places like that have a dining space. Canes that have lobbies where you can actually sit down, talk. It may not be as crowded, and if it is, you can always be able to dine outside because some of those places have those options, and you could sit down and talk. And going on a date, you may not want to do the car conversations. Oh, we're sitting in the car and we're talking. Let's not do that. Let's stay in the dining area. Fun dates would be if you like to skate. If you never skate before and you want to try something different, that would be good because you get to laugh if you can't, because you're trying, and then you can sit down and you could talk and you can eat there and you could just sit down at the table and have good quality time. Now, the thing about that is if you're doing a skate date, you really want to keep it on the days that they're not as busy. The reason why, because it feels like this is just a planned date just for you and that person because the crowds are not there. So it's good to go on the days where they're not as crowded, where their beginner skaters usually come in those during those hours. So then that way the skating floor is open and it's not as crowded, and you have other skaters that are there learning how to skate. You can get out there together and skate, have a seat, and just talk the rest of the date, or talk and eat, laugh, and just be yourself. The next place would be, if you like art, going to like art museums, and try to go on their days where it's kind of subtle, where it's not that crowded. Again, you know, those are some beginner date places that you can always plan to go because you want to get to know that person. Of course, you don't want to spend as much money because if you're getting to know them, you don't know if the relationship is going to increase. You don't know if it's going to be where it's going to lead. So it's best to save your money and get to know that person. And then if it goes in the direction that you plan on going, then choose another one of those dates. And really and truly, you can rotate those places. So then that way, you're able to get to know that person. Look them in their eyes, get to know them, and you're not at home, you're not in the car, you're in public and you're having fun and you're being yourself. You're seeing they're goofy, they're seeing you're goofy, and they're seeing you're interesting, they're knowing your personality. And that's a good first couple of dates. And keep doing that until you feel comfortable moving on to the next set of dates. But the main purpose is to get to know that person outside of their comfort zone, outside of your comfort zone, and talk. Communication is the first step when it comes to getting to know that person. Communication, your questions, your vibe. Don't rush anything. Don't rush them. You say, okay, well, we were sitting in the car talking. No, that's a comfort space. Get out of that element. It's okay to be out in public and have a good time. That way, if you decide, well, me and this person, I'm like, they talk, but then it gets quiet and I just feel so awkward, then you know that you need to change some things up and let them know that. But if the dates do not go past what you're expecting, then it'll be okay to let them know, hey, I had a great time with you, but I think that we're not going to move forward from here. Because the only way to get to know a person is by getting them out of their comfort zone. And the reason why is because if you're in your comfort zone, of course, they're going to tell you exactly what you want to hear. And it may not even be their real personality. It may not be what they really are, what they really like, what they really do. Only because they're trying to impress you. Dates are showing your impression. It's giving off what type of person you are, not the type of person you want to be. Come on now. When you're dating, you're getting to know people. And it's okay to not just jump in a relationship. Oh, well, we just met and now we're boyfriend and girl. You just met 2 or 3 days ago. And now you're saying, I love you and this and this and this. Come on. Take your time. It's okay to get to know that personality, their flaws. It's okay to take your time. And not enough people are doing that now. So many people are rushing because they have an idea of what they want and what they expect you to be. Well, I love you, and we'll talk soon.